Hello, this is Edward Earl from Zeus Coach, and I'm here in beautiful Las Vegas on the tennis courts at the complex of my folks' home. And what I want to do is create a video that talks about the S.W.A.T movement, which is the forehand and backhand stages. There's 4 stages, and each one of them begins with a letter, which I call S.W.A.T as an acronym. S stands for sight or spot the ball. W means wind up, you're going to store power. And then third is A, apart and arc, and then T in S.W.A.T is take it out. So as I demonstrate this and illustrate how this should be done on the forehand side, I want you to go along and watch the video and put yourself in the positions that I demonstrate to you. So the first thing that happens is S. We want to sight or spot the ball. So you're in your ready position, kind of right here, and then as soon as the ball comes off the racket of your opponent, you lift and you spot the ball through the strings. That doesn't mean you stay here for any length of time. The objective is you've got all of this stuff going around. You've got possibly another match or people hitting balls. You can hear the birds in the background, all the distractions, the noises overhead, planes, cars, everything. And the first thing you need to do is focus in on the ball. That's what starts that part of the point out perfectly when it's coming towards you. So S, spot or sight the ball. So you're in your ready position, you spot and sight the ball. And it only happens until you get the ball in your strings or in your sights. Then you move to the next part, which is W in S.W.A.T, which is the wind up. So you're going to come from spot the ball, and then you're going to wind up. Okay? You're storing power. One of the things you have to remember is don't take this foot here and don't move it parallel to the court. You want to keep that toe centered into the court a little bit more. So spot the ball, wind up. All right, it's important that you can, from this side, the hand is about mid, about where your waist is, and then you can see parallel the net or the fence through your strings. I don't want the racket straight up like this, okay? I don't want the racket tilted like that, more of about like this. So hand by the waist, W wind up, you can see out the strings, and then remember this hand, the left hand, is still attached to the racket, whether you're holding it like this or you're pushing like this. Depending on who you are and how you're storing power effectively, I may have you hold the racket like this or push, because more width here allows for more power and more leverage. So it just depends on what feels most comfortable and what's most effective in the ball pattern. So S, spot the ball. W, wind up. Elbow, axis elbow. That elbow needs to be out, not in, because you need something to rotate around. So that elbow's out. There's your W for wind up. The hand is still attached to the racket. And then apart and arc. We hear people talk about the windshield wiper forehand when you come and you hit the ball through the strike zone, and at the last minute you windshield wiper like that. I'm not a huge proponent of that, but I am a huge proponent of the windshield wiper movement, just in a different way. Spot the ball, wind up, axis elbow, seen through the strings, foot in towards the court, hand, left hand on the racket, or right hand if you're a lefty. The windshield wiper action I'm talking about is from here to here. Okay, is you just let the ball, the racket head drop in that windshield wiper motion. And then here's where you are. The hand is still here, okay? The windshield wiper motion has gone down, the racket head is dropped. The butt cap of the racket is pointed towards the ball. The racket face is closed, potentially down, just depends. I don't want it straight back like this. I don't want it out here like that. I definitely don't want it like this, because that'll cause you to whip and lose the momentum and the path of the racket. So spot the ball, wind up, windshield wiper down, and then the racket faces here, butt cap towards the ball, hand here. And then what I want you to do is the T part. Take it out. Okay, so what you're doing is pretending as if you are starting a lawnmower engine and you are pulling with this hand, not hard, but pulling with this hand and the elbow, and as you're doing that, this hand is coming up and hitting the ball, and then when you get to this point, you release the hand through, leading with the front edge, bam, you take the ball out. Now that doesn't mean you're going to push with your arm or your shoulder or your back. You're going to pull. So technically you're going to pull this way, and as you pull that way, you're going to pull this way. And then your elbow is going to end up pointed towards usually where you want the ball to end up. So spot the ball or sight the ball, wind up, racket connected to the left hand, access elbow, seam through the strings, apart and arc, A. Left hand stays for power, windshield wiper down, racket face closed, butt cap pointed towards the ball, then take it out, T. Shift the hips, pull through, leading with the edge, hit the ball out in front, pow, finish here, catch the racket like this, rotate the elbow, pow, like that, and then as soon as you're done, hold that for a second, and then you're back to your position. That's the S.W.A.T forehand, okay?